So I worked a long time, 10 years, for 10 years in industry optimization, just plain math. And we optimized locations, logistics, flight schedules, every such things. And we could prove every time that we can save maybe 10, 20% against human beings. And then the hardest part was to make people believe that we can really save 20% because they do not want money. So we could prove that maybe we can save the company 10 million, 20 million, something. And then I said, they hate change, you know. This is the problem in innovation and change and all these new things. And I had to study psychology in the end to understand why they do not want to make changes or something like that. I can give you a short introduction in the natural constant. That's mine, the Dueck constant, 15. It's 15. When we made optimization, then the first question of an MBA, usually you talk to an MBA in the management, the first question is to a mathematician, what is the percentage of savings? And there's a true answer. This is, it depends. It's mathematical answer. So we have to study the problem and look into it. And you say it depends. But if you talk to economic people, to controllers, financial people, they say that's not enough. I need to have a number for the contract. And then said, in the first time I was a little bit trembling and said, maybe 5%. And I said, that's not enough. I can just do it by shouting on you. I tried 10%. The truth is 30 maybe. I tried 10% and I said, we screw a little bit out of the processes. And you are too expensive for just 10%. Then I shouted, the truth is 25. They said, we don't believe. Go out of there. Then I tried 20%. 20% for an MBA seems to be plausible. It seems possible. But 20% is kind of too much. So if you really improve things by 20%, they have the fear that they get a haircut at least in their career, you know? So they are trembling if you say 20%. So the only number which is really possible is 15. Go to these people and say, I save 15%. And I say, this sounds reasonable. And they just sign the contract, that's it. And please, just tell 15. This is the dream number, 15. And I say, they try, what do you save? I say, 15. They say, and sorry, and why? I say, this is experience. Everyone takes it. That's it. Without knowing the problem, they believe in 15. Maybe you know another number in project. This is risk. You know all the literature about that on innovation and new projects, and you know that basically 70% of all projects fail. In some kind of. But if you tell people the project that the probability that this project will fail is 70% or 50, or in innovation it's 99 or 95%, then they won't sign the contract. And try. And you say you talk to the controller, say, the risk is 25%. Then these guys say, it's too much. Please think about a new business case. I want you to make the number a little bit smaller. Try 5%. If you try, the risk is 5%, then I say, I never had a project with 5%, and you are just lying. Please make a different number. And you have to go to the controller and say, the risk is 15%. And I say, this is reasonable. You see, the risk is about 50% and more. Everyone knows that, but they sign 15. So you have to lie. And this is, the dumbness of humankind starts from this ignorance and the number 15, So please, for mathematicians in this room, the risk is the unknown part of the future. You do not know what the future is. This is the risk, the uncertainty. And the controllers say the unknown part of the future is 15. Exactly 15. So this is where the dumbness starts. I wrote a very early article, maybe 25 years ago, on the project, or the time length on the project. So I was at IBM, so maybe it's completely universal of all the companies. So if I sell a project, then my manager, my boss, wants to have the project finished this year, or he has some date in mind when he can be promoted, so it would be fine to have it finished 3 months before. The customer, my client, wants to have the project to finish maybe before year end when he is promoted. My controller wants to have the project finished this year because it's in the balance sheets. The sales guys wants to have the project finished this year because he gets a bonus and all these kind. You see, you can go through all the people estimating the length of a project, and they want to have the project length short. This is stupid, And the most stupid guy in this game is the brilliant technician, who is the only one who can really estimate the project length. So there is one genius really knowing what the project length is, and this is the biggest idiot in this game, because he thinks that all the people in his team are as brilliant as himself. So the estimate of the most brilliant genius guy is the worst of all these people. And I published a rule, so I think it's quite true. The rule is, ask the genius what the project length is and multiply it by 2.1. And defend this time through all the instances you work. So that might be true. Okay, but then we have this Swarm-Stupidity in these things, and I would like to explain the implications of all the dumbness coming from maybe project time and money. Okay? Sven Johan said there are two different kinds of innovation. There are some more, at least two. I invented two more. The first is disruptive innovation. Second is say steady improvement or something like that. And disruptive innovation is loved in Silicon Valley. Normal improvements are loved by all the engineers and computer scientists. They love to improve. The MBAs think improvement means less money and less time. That's efficiency. And they think that if you make a process more efficient without improving the things, then that's a great innovation for MBAs. And usually you are forced to make the third kind of innovation. And if you're working in a large company, they are not really after disruptive change like Nokia, it was named here. Nobody is really hunting disruptive changes. Nobody in a big company is really looking for improvements. They are asking always, is the customer willing to pay more if we give him more? And then you have to give some reasons. So I believe maybe the customer is willing to pay 2% more. And I say that's not enough, because you have to say 15, something like that. Sounds reasonable. And if an engineer today makes a proposal for improvement, a product, and then you have you are forced to give a lie. The lie is called business case for that. So because you have to lie that the customer pays money for that. The third one is loved by MBAs, and the fourth one is loved by MBAs. They just make it cheaper and compromise the quality for the client. So take out the colors, make it black or white, make the sheets thinner, something like that. Okay, and what the essence of my talk is now is that you basically are going down. So you start to hate disruptiveness, you stop making improvements, and you will love in the end efficiency and lower quality in some sense. This is the end of Swarm-Stupidity. So, okay, this is my talk. So first of all, what is stupidity? I have to give a definition that's not easy, because Wikipedia is just failing in giving an answer. They said it's just stupid. Dumb people, something. But there's only, I think, 1.5 lines. So in the literature, there's not a good explanation. I found one in a very satirical book from a diplomat in Italy. Sounds like this. There are two persons, X and Y, and X, say, is giving Y a present. Then X gives something, so X, the fortune of X diminishes, Y increases. This is donation. Then you have win-win situations. X gives something to Y and both have a profit. This is called win-win. This is just for lectures. You get lots of lectures on win-win situation. The reason for giving you these lectures is nobody behaves this way. And therefore, you have to have lectures and education and processes and preaches, but you never achieve really win-win. This is the reason that you get all these courses on win-win. The normal thing is that X steals from Y. This is robbery. So, see, all the philosophy on earth, all the religions, all the popes, all your parents, all your managers, teachers, professors, they care for robbery, that there are bandits stealing, that X steals from Y. So we have all the processes, the waterfall models, the project managers, they are looking that one steals from another, okay? These are 3 ways of living, and the whole philosophy is on stealing. We have all the policemen, the radar controls, everything is that nobody is stealing. And never, ever, there is the fourth possibility considered. The fourth possibility is that X does something which hurts Y, but he does not have a benefit from that. This is lose-lose. And I call stupid people in this fourth quadrant people hurting others without own benefit. Maybe you sit down in meetings. Do you ever sit in meetings and thinking this is just wasted time? And you're sitting and sitting for hours. I know in a big company there was a guy coming in on the first day and he said, "What is my work here?" And they said, "We don't know. Your boss is in vacancies, maybe." The first you have to do is to just join the weekly conferences, the telecoms conferences, and here's the plan. And the plan was 24 hours in a week, meetings, weekly calls. Maybe you love that because this is the only quiet time to work or something like that. But if you really are in a meeting, this is dumb, and even dumber. So and you always say, well, "What my time," and I cannot work on these things. And meetings are a classical room where you hurt others without having benefit. And my claim is that they are meeting lots of intelligent people, really fine, intelligent, bright people, and making decisions which are dumber than the dumbest guy in the meeting. This is the problem. Okay. I give some guiding principles for that. If you want to start with dumb things, just make. Just the normal thought that the optimum is the maximum or the minimum. It's clear that it is not correct, but in normal meetings they think if you make it with less money and less time, then it's okay. So nobody is thinking about an optimum. So normally, if you have a guy never going to the phone, this is not a good way to work. This is kind of autistic behavior. And then you have the salespeople having 100% of the time on their phone. This is maybe still not the optimum behavior, and there's kind of curve. So one extreme is bad, the other extreme is bad, and there's something in the middle which is called optimum. This is mathematically really clear, but the MBAs say optimum is always the maximum or minimum. And they can only minimize and maximize, and that's it. If you study just MBA economics, then they are all in this. They are just also maximizing and minimizing all the time. So through all their studies, and they do not even think about an optimum. And this is the abstract reason for all the dumbness. Okay, I give you a hard formula in the over next slide, and we discuss it in more detail in math. So you can start with utopia syndromes. You set a goal which is not reachable. Can you hear your boss? You say, "Achieve that," and you say, "It's not possible." And you say, "Try." Okay, I can give this is a different speech. So it's the problem is that your bosses are kind of dogs, and you, in your room most of you are cats. And if you say a dog, "Please do the impossible," the dog says, maybe it's not possible. And then you can say a dog, "Try!" And then says, "Yes, I try." You see, they are social. If you say a cat, "Do the impossible," the cat says nothing. "Do the impossible." Cat looks. I'm cat too, so Cat is telling nothing. Cat is thinking you have no clue what you are talking of. Okay? And the tail of the cat, so if a dog, this is confidence, you know. A cat is different. I kill you if you continue. You know, And there's a difference between the different animals. And managers are dogs. Dogs are social and they have always meetings. You never see a manager thinking. So if you say a manager, think 10 minutes about following problem. And it says, I should have a meeting. So, see, they cannot think as a single individual. So, do you ever saw a cat asking a different cat, what is here best practices for finding mice? So cat is a separate expert, you know, and dogs are in the meeting. And if the dog says, try the impossible, then the dog, the intelligent dog is a little bit not really confident and says, it may be not possible. And to social people you can say, try at least, be in a team. We have you have to have all the energy on the street. We can get it, chaka, you can get it, we are beautiful people. Do you know these meetings in your company? We have the decision made to grow 30%, at least double-digit profitable growth. And we want you to achieve that. The market is there. The customers have a lot of money. It's just up to you to sell your solutions. The future is bright. You see, we can. And then the cats sit there and said, another stupid year. You see, there is a difference. If you have a project as a cat and you know that the project is for 2 years, so you know. The best ingenious guy has estimated that the project length is 11 months, and the truth is 2 years. So, and then the management comes and say, please do it in 1 year. Then you have a certain strategy to do it in 1 year with less money. And after 1 year, you have not a real project, but a catastrophe. And then you have another year to fix all the problems. Okay? And in the end, you will work for 4 years, because the truth is that the project is for 2 years. So but the strategy to try the impossible, to try it in 1 year, gives a different project as if you would be intelligent and just try to finish it in 2 years. Then everything is fine, everything is smooth, and in the end you have a marvelous project. But if you try the impossible and try to fix it in 1 year, then you have a catastrophe, like the Berlin airport, if you know this famous project, and they never change, because after 1 year, if you try in 1 year, you have a lot of mess, and then the mess is hindering the whole project, and you never stop in 2 years, but maybe if you try to make it in 1 year, you end up in 3. So the strategies are different. So if you try the impossible, you have different strategies than in normal work. And it's better to have just normal work, then you end in 2 years, but if you make a mess in 1 year, you end in 3 or 4 or never. This is normal children logic. And you do not just murder your boss if he says 1 year, please. Then you say, okay, it's your decision. And in the end, the cats make unnumbered hours of overtime. You try to rescue the project and all these things, and it just is stupid. I give you a mathematical proof. So if your boss says, I don't believe in Gunter Dueck, it's a problem. So I withdraw from this argumentation and give just the formula. Normal people have that in your math studies, or I have seen this in the curriculum for economical people. So this is just queuing theory. Yeah. Little's formula. It's a very, very simple thing. Means just the waiting queue. This is people in system. The formula is people in system. If you have a cashier and there are three possibilities. There is one guy serviced and some others are waiting. This is possibility one. Possibility two is there's one guy serviced and no one is waiting. So there is a guy, but there's no one waiting. And the third possibility is there's nobody there. So people in system means the waiting line plus the guy who is serviced. Okay? And if you want to have a really short formula, this is plus minus. Okay? Plus minus 15%. It's okay. If you read this formula, the number of waiting guys, the average number of waiting guys is utilization divided by 1 minus utilization. This is not Gunter Dueck, this is a mathematical law. Sorry. You can go to the boss and say, this is math. This is above economics, above management, above, you see, this is not dumb or intelligent, it's law. Okay. Say you have a utilization of 95%, which is kind of mess. So you should have, of course, at least 100. Maybe your utilization is only, you go to, if you are in service or in consultancy, you have a utilization of only 95%, and the formula says waiting queue is 0.95 divided by 1 minus 9. 0.95 is 19. 19 is a lot of things. So think about a cashier in a small supermarket, and the boss is coming in and counting. The MBA is counting what is the utilization of the guy of the cashier, and then he counts. He's 5% just sitting around. And we should make it harder. The problem is then that the waiting queue is in the average 19 guys. This means 5% he's sitting empty, 5% there's 1, 2, 3, and 19 in the average means that the waiting line is between 100 and 0. So it's very unstable. And this is, you cannot have a cashier which is sitting around only 5%. He should sit around some percent more, you see? The best answer I can give from all mathematical optimization I ever made, the best guess is to sit 15% of your time. Maybe if you have studied economics, you know that if the production of a country has a utilization of more than 85%, then people expect inflation. That's an eternal law. We try to have the Lufthansa machines more than 85% in the air. You cannot do that because there are some maintenance problems in between, and you have to have some time to solve these maintenance problems. And if you try to have the machines more than 85% in the air, then you have lots of troubles, and maybe it ends in the crash of the company. The Deutsche Bahn tries currently to have the trains more than 85% in use. You see the result. Endless stupidity. Yeah? And maybe you can understand that a little bit better for a doctor. Say a doctor wants to earn a lot of money, and there are some guys maybe in the ambulance, and he tries to have 95% utilization. Then this means in his waiting room there are 19 people on the average, maybe sometimes 100, sometimes 50, sometimes 1. very unstable. And what is the result? The result is that people start complaining. So if there are 20 people, then they say, here, I'm blooding. The second says, here, my head is something cut down. And here's my liver. So, and you have lots of people crying and bleeding and sighing, I am the first one to be handled here. And then the doctor has to fix all the problems, give injections, use needles and all these kinds of things. And besides, in the waiting room, they are crying, help, I'm the next. And then he has to install a secretary. This means in management called executive assistant, who talks to the people, and please, I give you another date. He says, I do not want a date, I'm bleeding, sorry, and so on. And then, I mean, if you have a utilization in more than 95%, then you get a lot of additional work. Because you have to cancel dates and have you renew dates. You have to calm the people down and something, and then utilization comes up from 95% to 97, 99. And if you are 99, then the waiting queue is not 19 but 100. And then it's increasing. And what my claim is that if you try to make your utilization larger than 85%, then you have a waiting line of 5 that is handleable. It is not just a joke because it's just another 15. But if you have 85% utilization, then you can handle all the exceptions at this very day. Everything is okay. You have no time lags in something. And if you try to make your utilization more than 85%, then you get additional work from fixing the problems you get by the waiting queue. And then your utilization will increase to 86, 87. Then the additional work is increasing, and then this goes there. And then what I am claiming is if you are going beyond 85, then you end in 130 without any increase of productivity, because you are just eaten up by the additional work you have to do, and this additional work is called teleconferences and meetings. And then you are sitting in the meetings, and in normal meetings. So when I'm an old man, and 30 years ago, if there was a meeting, then you had 100% participation in the meetings, because a meeting was important. Now a meeting is kind of something which is above the 100% utilization you have, and then it's okay when maybe 60% of the expected people are in the meetings, and the rest of them say they have waiting queue, no time. So, and even if you are a really intelligent guy, if you have a utilization of 85%, everything is fine in your room, you get all your work done in the same day, then you have the problems that you have to go in the meetings for the other dumb people. You see, maybe you do it all in time, but you are dependent of others in the project, and these people are dumb and sitting in meetings and have a utilization. So it's not really sufficient that you say, I have got it, I made 85% and not more, and my life is okay. That's not so easy. You have to get the others that the total is 85%. That's not easy. And that means that if you are intellectual, a worthful human being, everyone is here in this room, you can manage to have personal utilization of 85%, everything is okay, but it does not help because of Swarm-Stupidity. You are dependent on the other guys. Try to edit a journal of 10 papers, and then two of them are in time, and then you are calling, and these people, they have no time, please let me go out of this game. You can imagine these things. And this is a law, sorry. Give it to your manager. Would like to talk about parental alienation. This is quite close connected with the formula I gave. The parental alienation is a phenomenon in normal life. So maybe I take the typical case. So two people were married, have one child, and they have a divorce. So they go different ways of life, and maybe the child is living with a mother. This is the most typical case. Sorry for having now a delicate field of gender. And the child is going on the weekend to the father. And on Sunday evening, the child is recurring from the father, and the mother says, "What did you do?" And child says, "It was marvelous. Lots of ice cream, chips, and we went to the cinema, to movies." You know, can you feel the mother? Mother says, "Okay, next Sunday." Child is coming, right? "How did you do?" "It was so fine." Then mother said, after 4 weeks, the mother said, "I have to do all your homework. I have to make away all your dirt. I have to wash your clothes. I have to do all the dates. I have to..." And this guy gives you ice cream. And the child said, The child is learning. And after 3 months, Sunday evening, "How did you do?" Child said, "Pa had no time. I was sitting around. He was calling, conference." And mother said, After 4 months, child is lying, I have to say. So it was a lot of ice cream, a lot of cinema, but the child has learned. After 4 months, fed up with ice. "How did you do?" "Father had no time." And then the mother says, "Why do you go on weekends to this guy?" And then you see the problem is increasing. And on average, the child is leaving the father after 15 months. This is the average time. So overall, if you just measure the weekends, the utilization of the father is going down to 0 after 15 months. This is the average. Okay? So this is family. Now in your company. I was chief technology officer in my company, and chief technology officer says, they said, you see, I was the only I was math guy in 40 people in the board of the company, and all the others were MBAs. And they are sweating. All the MBAs have crowd stupidity and have a utilization of 130%. Me personally, I had 85 because I know this law. And then they say, "What are you doing?" So I'm the child. "What are you doing?" "Oh," I said, "I sat in the grass outside for 1 week and thought on innovation." This is. You see, if a management hears that, listens to that, then he has the same feeling like if the child says to the mother, "I had chips and ice cream." See, because if you tell a 130 utilized manager that you are thinking for 1 week on an important innovation, they say, "Shit, you are chilling." Okay? And if you say, let's have one day time for a strategy, they said one time, maybe we have a meeting of half an hour after the meeting, which is 10 in the evening. Maybe we have 5 minutes time on strategy. And what I'm telling is that the future, this is German, sorry. Future and daily business. So you can imagine the same in parental alienation, and the mother is called daily business, and the father is called something. Maybe future, innovation, strategy, gender, work-life balance, wellness, something. Christmas party, something. And daily business always says, you are chilling. You want to have time from the daily business. Please not. Please make your goals. You cannot make your goals because you have 130% utilization with no productivity. You just are sitting in meetings. And this is the problem. And you cannot come out. So if you are the only intelligent guy in your company and say, I want to manage that with personal 85%, you have no chance because mom is shouting on you. The daily business makes you working 130% too. So this is the question of the swarm. So maybe you have seen that. This is the largest Swarm-Stupidity on Earth. It's math. All the MBAs measure correlation. So correlation means if two lines are kind of equal. And there are lots of silly examples that you know all these examples that two things. So people earn more if they have larger feet. You know this? So if you have a diagram and measure the length of the feet of a guy and the income, then the curve is like this one. So if you have large feet, you earn more. So that's a fact. So the explanation is very easy. If you separate man and woman in this curve, then you have one cloud in the near of the zero, and one is a larger cloud. And given it is a man or given it's a woman, then income and foot length is independent. But if you take the full crowd, then you have a law that you earn more money if you have larger feet. Okay? And maybe MBAs would try to have medicine to grow their feet or something like that. It's also a correlation that you earn more money if you wear black suits and have very expensive ties. That's the law. So, and some MBAs really, they try to buy very expensive ties and very expensive silk, customized, very black suits, and then they think they earn more money. And the silly thing is that the controllers and the bosses believe in this correlation, and really they promote them. So it's not a silly strategy to have silks, black suits. That's strange thing. So I have given one, so you know that umbrellas is correlated with rain, and then you try to have rain just having the umbrella. Okay? So this is silly, but the serious ones are, if you measure the best and most excellent software engineering projects, if you measure them, then you will examine that they end in time and on budget. Okay? Easy. So if you want to have an excellent project, try first to have it in time, at all costs. You see? And then you see, you are really thinking in these things. You think, all the managers think a good project ends in time. You cannot think about just make normal good work and manage that, and it ends when it ends. But ensure that they are doing excellent work in between, and look on these things. But they think a good project is something which ends in time and on budget, and then you have this correlation. Managers read in the paper that the marvelous, best, excellent, most excellent companies have passion for the business, you know? Chaka chaka, I believe in me, I'm fine. Every morning in the mirror, I'm successful, I will get it. Something like that. And the most excellent companies like Google and those things, they have passion. And then you are sitting in a boring company with a boring CEO, and then he reads that the most excellent companies have passion, and then say, you see, the difference between Google and us is you have no passion. And I want you to go home and be passionate from the next minute. Please show passion. I have seen in such a it was called leadership principles. They said, what is passion? A passionate leader shows genuine interest in what people do. A passionate leader demonstrates passion in his company. And I said, I wrote back, you should not, the wording is incorrect, should not read demonstrates passion, but should read has passion, and the wording should not be demonstrates genuine interest in what people do, but has genuine. And the answer of the human department was, what is please the difference? You see, and what the correlation and causation is something different. I think if you just say, I'm successful, I will get it, chaka chaka, I can do it, I can, yes we can, then automatically America is saved. And you see that is not the truth. You have to have passion, not demonstrate such thing. And I can give you millions of examples of that. So the most powerful companies have the best profit. And then people say, okay, I reduce your salary by 50%, then we have the best, something like that. And management is, most of the management decisions violate this principle, that they call it causation. They just take kind of correlation and declare it a causation. So most of the bestsellers book, not mine, I know this, but most of the bestsellers says in search of excellence. You take 10,000 excellent companies, it's too much work, maybe you should only have 200. From these 200, only 80% or 80 from 280 are willing to give an interview, then you take these 80, then 10 people have no time, and then you end up on a book on 20 excellent companies, and then you make an excerpt, all these 20 companies are willing to phone with journalists or something like that, and then they make kind of correlation, excellent companies are like that, and then all your bosses are reading it, excellent companies are exactly those which are phoning with journalists or something like that. I don't know. And I claim that maybe 90% of all the management decisions are caused on a false assumption that a correlation is a causation. Sorry. And this is really dumb. And a mathematician in mathematics, this is simple. So a mathematical guy, they say, I got it in 10 seconds. And this Dueck here on the stage explains that for 10 minutes. Crazy. I got it in 10 seconds. That's not the problem. You have to you get your boss to get it in 10 seconds. It's very clear. So if you think about MBAs, all the MBAs, sociologists, psychologists, all these people, all the controllers, and supervisors, they have studied kind of economic psychology, something. And in all these studies, you have to make one exercise, this called statistics for MBA, or statistics for something. And these people have this slide, all of them had this slide in their study. They know, but they're doing false. It's clearly stupid to do these things, but they do. And I wrote articles in Germany that they are really stupid and dumb. And then I get back from the MBA C. Sometimes I do not know what to do. It is very often. We have to face the future, and we really do not know what to decide. And then we read such a correlation, and then, okay, we make the assumption that this is a causation, then at least we have a hint what to do. But they say, this is dumb. They say, but at least we have something. This is a tragedy, okay? Okay. This is on agile. I missed some German. This is from Japanese the art of fighting, you know? And the art of fighting starts with shu is follow, learn a technique, it's up to the black level. So if you have the black belt, you need for years and years and years, you have to make it exactly in the same manner. If you know all the techniques, then you are black belt. Okay? And after black belt, you can do something other. You can try to fight, really. So until the black belt, you learn the techniques of fighting, and then the real fighting starts. So I'm not fighting. I'm a mathematician. I can cook. So you can learn cooking for years and years, how to boil eggs exactly 5 minutes, and so on. You follow all the techniques, and after the techniques, you learn what to do with the refrigerator for the content, something like that. And in the end, you are the master of the universe, so you can cook anything. And the first phase is many years, and then it's not really defined what to do. And here, people in this room try to go in the mastership direction. And the problem is that the MBAs, the dogs, and the meeting people, they want to have it in. They never got the black belt, and they do not like to have blended techniques or deviations or do something in cooking. They want to have just the recipe, exactly as in waterfall models, you know. And what you are always trying to be agile or something more intelligent, and then the people drag you back and say, please make it until the black belt. That's one kind of explaining what agile software development means. You are dragged down by Swarm-Stupidity to follow the rules. You see, I have made another slide. So you start with ideas and research, go to experience, you know all these things, and then you end in real laws. You see, and agile means that you stay above. So you're managing the system in heuristics, learning, and rules. Somewhere there in this region is mastery. But if you want to prove mastery, you are in the world of laws, and then the people keep you fixed in some small So no tolerance, zero tolerance world where you are punished for everything doing it a different way. So if you think about this new model, Shuhari, you are forced to solve every problem in laws and sanction penalty area, and you say, I need to go above. I want to be agile, not an orc. This is my name. This is a mixture of MBA and these orcs in Lord of the Rings. You see? Okay, what you are forced in that, this is I hate it to be that, maybe book smart, the people who know what to do, the intelligent people who in principle know what to do, and street smart is fighting for your life in the jungle. And basically, Swarm-Stupidity forces you, all the intelligent people, at least in large organizations, to be just street smart, what you never wanted to be. And normal software engineers say, I hate these meetings, I hate politics, I hate these communication problems, I hate... Sorry, you have to be street smart. What is a street smart? I found it in the Urban Dictionary. This is a pleasure to read there, in the Urban Dictionary of New York slangs. This is on Wikipedia. You can find it on Google. And street smart is the best definition was elected like street smart is a guy who knows all versions of shit. Smells each shit, tastes each shit, and knows for each shit to handle this shit. This is your life. And this is just swarm stupidity. This is because you try to do something against natural laws. You try to have more than 80% utilization. You try to make the project in this year, and you are street smart. You are in deep shit all the time. And this is because you ignore laws of nature and because you ignore that the correlation is not a causation. Okay, I cannot really translate this. You know Sapta in Germany? Is there... This is people... confident behavior without any clue. So, And I had one. He had a kind of rehearsal of 100 possibilities what a good project could be. So 100%. Maybe. So you have a brainstorming, and after the brainstorming, you have 100 innovation, and then you go to the boss, and we go through all the 100 innovations, and everyone has 10 minutes to explain. His innovation, and then we have a full day of meeting. And I shouted on the boss, sorry boss, after 10 seconds I grab you 5 of these 100 will make sense, and the other says crap. And he says, I don't know. I have no clue of all of this things, so I have to listen to all of the 100. This is meeting, You just discuss mess and silly ideas and something. And nobody is there just saying nonsense next. Okay. And the hardest problem is if you have dumb people, you cannot explain them that they are dumb. This includes you if you are eligible. So no way. And dumb people they overestimate. This is Dunning-Kruger effect. If you want to read that on the internet, Dunning-Kruger, and they found out that dumb people find that they 20-30% better than they are. So you cannot never explain people like that. You say you can give a narcissist to the psychotherapy. And to heal a narcissist in the management means that you explain him that he is just damn shit and not the best of the world. And you destroy him if you want to have a real therapy. And then, of course, it's a big problem to get him in therapy. Same is what with autistic mathematicians. So if I have to go to a therapy, my problem is to know everything better, and people hate me for that. And then I go to the therapy for knowing everything better. And my usual behavior of guys like me with this illness, they, after 4 weeks of therapy, say, I have to change my therapist because I can learn nothing from you. So I have learned everything in 4 weeks. I know everything from you. Now I need a different therapist where I can learn something. You see? And this means most of these ill behaviors are not really healable, so you cannot do anything about that. So this is the frustration. Short 3 minutes on swarm intelligence. You know, there's something about swarm intelligence. What I called my talk was on Swarm-Stupidity or dumbness. And you say, all the authors are talking about swarm intelligence. They are not talking about that. They are not stating swarm intelligence. They're just preaching for swarm intelligence. And there are some projects on Earth where you have some swarm intelligence. I give you, for swarm intelligence, you need some assumptions. The assumption is you should not have more than 85% utilization. You should have a joint vision, a shared fate, that people like in open source projects are working voluntarily. You have a swarm with passion, with people who not demonstrate passion but have passion. And if somebody does not have passion, he usually drops. And other people come in open source projects which have passion. And if you have all these assumptions, then you have swarm intelligence. Very easy. And the problem is that in normal life you never have that. So this is a very rare thing to have that. So this is if you know swarm intelligence, you can read a lot of books, but all these books do not talk about these pre-assumptions. They just think it's set. And then I said, it's very easy to have swarm intelligence, and then you can write 200 papers about that. The last slide, it's my favorite slide for dumbness of special software engineers. You guys can explain everything in full complexity. Full complexity is just here. So you are on the highest point of complexity, and you are usually explaining everything on highest complexity because you are proud of that. And then your manager says, please explain it to me, and then you explain it in full complexity. And then the manager says, can you explain it a little bit easier? And then your brain says, okay, you are dumb. Then another try for dumb people. And then you are dumbing it down and make a dumb version on that. Then you go to a customer. Customer says, explain, please. And then you explain in highest complexity because you are proud of your complexity. And then the customer says, can you explain it to me in an easier way? And then your brain says, okay, for dumb people. And you explain it in a dumb way. And there's only one person, I think, in history, he showed me that, who knows that if you turn around, there's a different side of life. You can explain it, not dumbed down, but ingeniously simple. This is Steve Jobs. Just builds an Apple. And if you are a Windows programmer, I said you cannot change the command .but something exa, and you have no power on this device, and it is not necessary. It just is okay. It never fails, and if it fails, you have to throw it away, and then you are full of joy because you get another one, new one, something like that. And the Windows people are proud of their full complexity, and these apples are just fine. And the ultimate thing to escape is that the full, here is the dumpness, and the swarm dumpness on this side, and you have to go to the other side. And if you're looking for the meaning of life, the meaning of life is not there. It's just turn around, the meaning of life is on the other side. Thank you.